Hi guys, Hooving Central here and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the Tomb of the Cybermen. So this is, I won't say the best, but probably one of my favourite Troughton stories. So yeah, let's get into it. Now first off, this is one of those stories where I kind of think possibly that if the Doctor and his companions wasn't there, the situation would not have been as bad as it was, which you do get in a couple of others. I think it's most notable in Human Nature, Family of Blood. Like, if the Doctor wasn't there, there would never have been a problem, and the threat wouldn't have never been as big. But with that said, then if he never had come here, we'd never have got this story, so I'm not complaining. Now, honestly, although a lot of people like Patrick Troughton's Doctor, I personally don't think he's as good. I'd say he's very mid-tier for me, like 6th or 7th maybe. But in the stories he does deliver, I will admit he's very good, and I think his best performance is in Tomb of the Cybermen for me. Obviously, I haven't watched War Games yet. I do own it, but I haven't watched it yet. I should really start getting around to watching it, but I just haven't. But a lot of people think he's good in that, and that's fine. I just think his whole chemistry with Jamie's really good in this one, and his chemistry with Victoria in this is really good, even though she's only literally been in it for Evil of the Daleks, and this is her first story where she's not like her first story where she's off-world. Honestly, as a Cybermen story, you strip away the scenes with the Doctor and Jamie and Victoria and stuff. As a Cyberman story, I do feel like the Cyberman is slightly lacking in doing stuff. I think in the Moonbase they certainly do a lot more, and although they're not in it until part 4 and 5, until like part 5 onwards, they do a lot more in the Invasion, and they do I don't know how in Wheel in Space obviously, and in 10th Planet they do a little bit more. I find this is a story where, because the humans, the guy, the woman, and that other guy who's their servant or whatever, because those three people are like secondary villains just in themselves, it kind of makes the Cybermen feel like, oh, you're there, but you're not a threat as per se. They're just more, they're not a threat, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think a good thing about this one is it's the introduction of the Cybermats, which is an amazing thing, which they use a couple more times. The Cybermats that do then return in, I believe they're in Wheel in Space. They're also in Revenge of the Cybermen, and then I don't think they appear until closing time, and then they appear in The Nightmare in Silver, but they're like really, really small, and they're like Cyber Mix or something like that, which is pretty cool. Something new to the Cybermen, which is good because it's just a good thing. And also, I'm pretty sure the Cybermen must hold the Guinness World Records for the most the most redesigns ever. Because in the 10th Planet they look like one thing, then in Moonbase, and I think Moonbase and Tomb of the Cybermen, they do look exactly the same, but the Cyber controllers in it. Then in Wheel in Space they look different. In Invasion they look different. Then Revenge of the Cybermen they look different, and they've got a Cyber leader which is slightly different. Then in Earthshot they look different. Then in Attack of the Cybermen they look the same, but they've got the black variant and the Cyber controller. And then in Silver Nemesis they're exactly the same, but they're a lot shinier. And then in the new series they've changed them again. And then there's the Cyber Lords now, or the Cyber Masters, whatever they're called, the Time Lords that are Cybermen. And then the Ashed, is his name Ashed? The Lone Cybermen. So, surely, but yeah, I don't know. The whole I think, as I said, this Cyberman story, as a story, may not be the best Cyberman story as in what the Cybermen actually do, but the scenes in this story is amazing. The Cybermen coming out of their tomb is phenomenal. The Cybermen, the people running away, and the Cybermen just stopping them dead in their tracks is phenomenal. And that moment where I said the servant guy before, he's on the back there. When him and the Cyberman just go to fight, I don't know. When those two fight at the end, that's just phenomenal again. It's just really good. Also, as I said, I'm not a fan of Patrick Troughton per se. He's very mid-tier for me. But his scene with Victoria is just the best thing that he had. And it's not really speech per se. It's not like a Heart knows I shall come back, or it's not the Matt Smith speech that Rings of Akaten, but it's a very good heart-to-heart, which shows how he still cares a lot, and which is always fun, because sometimes you find that, I mean, a little bit like Capaldi's era. Capaldi's a great doctor, but I find that in Series 9, especially in like Face the Raven, he becomes so angry all of a sudden for losing his companions, and it's just a bit annoying. It's just like, yes, I'm sure you'll be upset, but your other companions have died before. Like when he lost Adric, Adric died. The Doctor just kind of forgot it in Time Flight. They're like, oh well. Which is, yeah. But yeah, the Cybermen design themselves is really good in this story. They are it's just very nice. And I like the Cyberman controller. If you can't see him, he's there. The Cyberman controller in this story looks phenomenal. And he's probably the best looking cyber controller. I think the other cyber controller is the cyber controller? Yeah, the cyber controller. The cyber controller in Attack of the Cybermen is pretty meh. And the cyber controller in the other ones is a bit meh. But yeah, overall I think it's a great story. Troughton gets a lot to do, which is good. Well, yeah. So that was my review of Two Minute Cybermen. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and watch another one. Yeah, bye.